All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You're listening to the USA Radio Network. My name is Lee Elsey. You can always find out more about me, leeelsey.com. My email address is leeelseyradio@gmail.com. I've had this gentleman on one time in the past. We'd love to have him on a lot more. He's got a special event coming up. I'm telling you, it's going to knock your socks off. Dr. Thomas Krannawitter holds a PhD in political science from the Claremont Graduate University, specializing in American political thought and classical political philosophy. Again, he's written a number of different books, including Lincoln and Liberty, Crisis of Our House Divided, Vindicating Lincoln, Save the Swamp, Challenges to an American Founding, and A Nation Under God. He is one of the great professors at a great class that I took here in Connecticut, and I want to reintroduce him to everybody because we've got a special event we want to talk about. Dr. Thomas Krannawitter. Doc, what's happening?
Hey, Lee, I might be the only academic you know who apologizes for the degree I've earned, the PhD, because I am painfully aware of how much damage that class of PhDs has done to the cause of liberty in America. And I'm joking a little bit, but I'm also serious about that. All the bad ideas circulating right now in America, they ultimately originated in our universities and our colleges. And it's one of the reasons we got to remind ourselves why this country is good, because the academic class has kind of poisoned our culture, poisoned the American mind.
You know, over the history of me doing this, I've talked to a number of professors with a conservative slant, right? So, and they all give the impression like their heads are in their hands saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fight back against the classroom being swamped with progressives.
Yeah, and one of the things I've done, I mean, it's true. Here, I will just let your listeners know, and we'll cut to the chase. When people ask, why are our universities so progressive, so woke, so full of socialists and communists, the answer is that's what they were designed to be. The whole modern university system, the way it's designed, the big separation between the academic side and the administration, the insulation that they've surrounded professors with, it was designed to be that way by progressives. It was the whole purpose of the university system is to produce more progressives, and in that sense, it's been a smashing success. For my part, I made a decision years ago. I want to scale the ideas of liberty. I want to reach a bigger, broader audience. So I took my college classroom experiences that I used to teach in California and Michigan, out in Virginia, and I've taken those experiences and I've been practicing how to present those ideas in ways that are, a mixture of a little entertaining, a little, emotional, get people laughing a little, crying a little, trying to turn these presentations into a real show, an actual show that people want to come to and enjoy. And I've gotten pretty good at it. I've done this on a lot of small stages, and we're going to do this on a big stage. I've got a great partner this time. I'm going to have Dr. Ben Carson on a stage with me, and we're going to be in Nashville, July 28th. I'm hoping you and a bunch of your listeners can join us. I know it's a little bit of a trek, but I think it's going to be worth the trip, because this show on July 28th is going to be really unlike anything anyone's witnessed before. It's not a dry, boring academic lecture at all. It's a show. It is lively. It's going to be full of energy, and at the same time, everything we talk about is going to be true. People are going to learn some things and have a great time all at the same time.
So I got to speak for myself, because I actually have seen you, not in this sort of a setting where, you're up on a stage, so to speak, but I have seen you in a classroom setting, and literally, Professor, you keep everybody in that room on the edge of their seat. It was absolutely the high point. I assume this will be a little bit more glitz, a little bit more glamour, but tell everybody how you're teaming up with Ben Carson. Are you on the stage at the same time?
We are. Dr. Carson has agreed. I mean, we've known each other for a while, and his organization, the American Cornerstone Institute, is teaming up with my business, the Vino and Veritas Society. We're both presenting this show, and Dr. Carson's whole push, his whole emphasis, the reason he got into the political realm in the first place. You know, when you think about it, it's kind of crazy, right? This guy was a very successful neurosurgeon. I mean, why would someone like that put their toe in the water or crazy waters of politics? He's genuinely worried about the future of the country. And he is persuaded, deeply persuaded, that there is no way we're going to save our constitutional republic if Americans don't know more about their own history, if they don't know the good story, if they don't know why America is good and worth defending. And he and I have that in common. So he's coming. He's going to be, he's bringing a lot of people. He's helping to attract a lot of attention to this event. He's going to be on stage. He's going to talk a little bit, and then the main presentation is going to be me.
It's called Rediscovering America. It's happening July 28th, Nashville, Tennessee. But where do people go to find out more about this?
It's our website. It's called VinoandVeritasSociety.com/events. So Vino and Veritas Society, all spelled out, VinoandVeritasSociety.com/events. That'll take you to a page that has all the information that you need to know about the event.
So where are we going? From the beginning of the Founding Fathers? Is that where you're taking us on that journey?
Yeah, we're actually gonna focus on the ideas of the founding, the ideas enshrined in the Declaration of Independence. There's several reasons for this. I mean, look, first of all, there's going to be the American story is a great story. It's a story filled with drama, tragedy, triumph. I mean, it's all in there. It's a fun story to listen to. The second reason is there's going to be a lot of like-minded people there. It's going to be a great audience for those who want to socialize and spend some time with like-minded people. But there's also a really important political purpose for all this. The progressives have been trying to discredit the founding for decades now. They have created entire organizations like the 1619 Project devoted to, I mean, think about this arrogance, to redating the American founding and to diminishing and discrediting everything the revolutionaries did in 1776 and the years after. And they're doing this for a political purpose, Lee. They want to discredit the founders' Constitution. So the way you do that is you discredit the founders. You discredit the founding and everything connected to it, including the Constitution. Then they can finally get rid of that Constitution and build the huge bureaucratic, regulatory, progressive state they want. So what's the defense against that? How do we protect ourselves from that? We who care about the fate of constitutional self-government, we need to know more about our story. We need to remember why America is good. We need to get better at telling that story to others as a way of protecting themselves from this nefarious, acidic effects of progressivism. And that's what this evening is going to be all about. That's why we're calling it Rediscover America. You'll fall in love with your country all over again.
So I see it's being held at the factory at Franklin. I don't know what is that? Is that a...
Franklin is a town just south of Nashville. It's sort of part of the Nashville area. Right. It's actually an incredible facility. It is an old it's an old factory. It's where they used to make stoves there.
Oh, perfect.
And the building is, I'm not kidding you, the building's like the size of a football field. It's enormous.
Right.
And they've renovated it, and inside there are restaurants and bars and multiple stages for live events. It's a fun place to hold an event. They do a lot of live music and stand-up comedy and things like that at the factory, and that's why we're heading to that venue.
All right, I got to take a very quick time out. We're speaking with Dr. Thomas Krannawitter. Multiple books, multiple college degrees, including a career that has seen him speak and teach at Hillsdale, Colorado Christian University, Claremont McKenna College, Azusa Pacific College, and George Mason University. And every once in a while, I'm lucky enough to get a chance to have him on with us. And when we come back, we're going to talk. I want to ask him a question, so stick around for this. I want to ask him a question about whether or not the Founding Fathers anticipated that people in government would hate their own government if they foresaw the idea that progressives would hate this country so much they would try to tear it down from the inside. We'll do that when we come back. You're listening to the USA Radio Network, raw and unfiltered.
You can speak with a capitalist evangelist and conservative warrior now. Call 833-WAR-TALK. 833-WAR-TALK. That's 833-927-8255. Now, back to Wayne Allen Root, raw and unfiltered.
Welcome back. Once again, you're listening to the USA Radio Network. Special guest joining us, Thomas Krannawitter. Big event he's got going on called Rediscovering America. It's happening July 28th. And, Professor, where can they get tickets for this again?
Place to go online, Lee, it's our website address, vinoandveritassociety.com/events. vinoandveritassociety.com/events. And that'll take you to a page that has all the information, time, when the doors open, all that sort of thing. There's going to be a lot of fun food, fun drinks. It's going to be a great, lively evening. This show, I'm going to make this promise to your listeners. This show is going to be unlike anything they've ever seen before. Imagine taking a really smart constitutionalist and a really smart historian and injecting into them all the energy and humor of Robin Williams. And you start to get kind of a sense of what this show is going to be about.
All right, I want to ask you one question, a real serious question before we run out of time. I think it's a serious question, but it's one that's, I think, haunting a lot of folks. The founders acknowledged that men are human beings and there will always be corruption, a lack of virtue in government among the populace. They tried to structure the new government with firewalls to prevent the influence of these factors. But do you think, or have you read any historical writings from the founders that could they have ever anticipated that their own representatives would actually hate the country they founded and actively work to dismantle or destroy it?
Yeah, I certainly think they could have imagined. I think they did imagine it in the Federalist Papers as a prominent example. Right there in the middle part of the book when Madison and Hamilton are laying out all these checks and balances, and we many of us remember some of it from civics classes in high school. But Madison makes this interesting comment. He says all these checks and balances. He called them auxiliary precautions, like additional precautions to maintain liberty and keep the power of government under control. He said these things are all necessary and they're good, but he said in the end, it's going to be the American people. It's up to them. And his point was, if the Americans really want a despotic parental tyranny controlling every aspect of their lives, if they want that, then they're going to get it sooner or later. No constitution can save a nation of people who want to live as perpetual children and they want their government lording over everything that they do, or a nation of citizens who loathe their country, who hate it, who despise it, who want it to become something else. Well, then it will become something else. And this is directly connected to the work that I'm doing, to this show that Dr. Ben Carson and I are putting on July 28th in Nashville. I want to remind Americans of the goodness of the founding, just how unique it was. Never before had a nation of people declared their own independence on this abstract, beautiful idea that every human being possesses the same natural rights. I mean, wow, what a revolutionary thing. And then they tackled one big problem after another. They tackled the problem of monarchy. They tackled the problem of legalized theft of private property. They enshrined protections for property in their laws. They tackled the problem of religious persecution. They established the first regime of full-blown religious liberty, and they placed slavery on the course of ultimate extinction. And within, to use Lincoln's dating at Gettysburg, within 7 years, they get rid of it.
Right.
Now, you look at that and you think, what an amazing thing. No group of people in all of human history had ever done that much good in such a short span of time. That's not something to be embarrassed of or to hate. That's something to be proud of and hold up as a model for the rest of the world.
I'm not necessarily a Bible thumper, but whenever I think about the Founding Fathers getting together at that one place and that one time, it has to be divine intervention.
Especially when you look at their individual virtues and how they complemented each other. You needed a George Washington. He is the indispensable man. You don't win the revolution without a Washington. But Washington alone Washington can't design a constitution. Washington can't pen a Declaration of Independence. You need the Hamiltons and Madison and Jefferson. You need John Adams. You need Ben Franklin in the Constitutional Convention to keep some order. You need all these pieces, and when you look at that, you think, wow, how is it that each of these individuals with such different strengths and different talents came together to work as a whole and establish the most incredible experiment in self-government ever established in history? It is not a far reach to say there had to be divine intervention behind that.
Listen, I have so many other questions, but we're out of time. We'll do it again soon, and we'll do it again before your event. But one more time, run it down for everybody. When, where, all the good stuff, and where they can get tickets.
July 28th, be with us. It's going to be in the evening, food, drink, and a show unlike anything you've ever experienced before. People can get information, including ticket information, by going to vinoandveritassociety.com/events. And I think, Lee, you're going to put that link up on your blog so that people can find it. Is that right?
All of our social media sites will have that link up.
July 28th, join us in Nashville. Have some good food, some good laughs, some good drinks, and spend some time with some like-minded Americans.
All right, Doc. Listen, I appreciate it. We'll talk soon. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks a lot, Lee.
You got it. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come right back. You're listening to the USA Radio Network.